Hey folks, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like this term is flying by. Let's jump into our next module. We are, for this upcoming week, we're going to begin Module 5, which means that Module 4 is due for y'all this Sunday at midnight. So I'm going to minimize that. As we jump into Module 5, know that it is due June 13th at midnight. Um, we are just trucking along here. I feel that this will most likely be one of the biggest debated modules that we have, so I'm excited for that. So something to think about as we talk about operant conditioning and classical conditioning. I'm sure that everyone has had a psychology class or two that has talked about this, and you already most likely have your own opinions of these things. But it's just important to think about it through an education and a practitioner lens as we are thinking about conditioning. And what I really want you to think about is as far as classroom management and how we are going to persuade those um, maybe not so excited learners in your classroom. So just think about all of those things. I think it's really easy to, as we're talking about conditioning, to think of your ideal classroom. I want you to go through this whole module thinking of maybe a tougher classroom, or maybe a classroom where everyone doesn't show up and is super excited to learn. Now, that might not change how you deliver instruction at all, or how you deliver, how you arrange your classroom and in your learning environment, but it is just something to think about, and I look forward to see your thoughts on these things. So we are going to be talking about conditioning, as you can see by our fun little graphic there. This is a video explaining what we are doing. I'm going to move me up. You can see your lecture materials on conditioning. I've checked these links, they work, we're good to go. I want you to read a little bit about Bruner's background, Thorndike's background, and then this article on rethinking conditioning strategies. These are a little bit longer articles, so give yourself a little bit more time than maybe you normally do, but I think they're all really important. Specifically, I think this one's a little bit longer and this one's a little bit longer. Then you're going to watch videos. These are super quick, the difference between classical and operant conditioning. And then hear from Jerome Bruner himself. And this is kind of interesting because he's talking about how does teaching influence learning, and just his opinions on those things. So that is your lecture portion. The next thing you're going to do, like always, is your reading reflection, one page. You guys have been doing great on these, and I've been really enjoying reading your thinking and how you are applying it to your own life, your own classroom. A lot of you have been pulling in past experiences, which has just been really nice to read. So you guys are doing a great job on those. The next thing is our online discussion. I think this is going to be really fun to read. So it's our debate like normal. You are going to, the debate topic is rewarding students for learning appropriate. There's a little background there, which at this point you should understand by the time you get here. Side 1, rewards are powerful motivators. Side 2, rewards produce nothing more than short-term compliance. Think about it, and then learn from each other. It's okay if you pick a side and then think, I've never thought about it on that side, because I can tell you my side on either one of these, but every time I read all the comments and the discussion that's happening in the class, I can be pulled one way or the other. I can say, I've never really thought about it that way. So just use the discussion for all that it's worth. Like always, you're going to make your initial post by Wednesday, and then you're going to respond to 2 other classmates by Sunday. Your last thing here is, how are we going to apply this to our our unit. So think about that as you're going through all of the lecture materials and the videos and the discussion. How are you going to show that you have reflected and you're knowledgeable about conditioning? There's not one right way, but I just want you to make those comments or those suggestions on the side of your unit saying, hey, I've reflected about this, I've thought about this, because I guarantee you when you do go to interview for a job, they're going to ask you about essentially conditioning, which is classroom management, motivating students to learn, all of those things. And so it's good if you have your thoughts together and you have, okay, this is how I would apply this knowledge and skills that I have from this module. Other than that, you guys are good to go. If we look here, we do not have much left at all. This is flying by. Module 5 is what we just covered, and then we talk about hierarchy of needs, and then your final reflection and summary. So you guys are doing great. You are almost there. Keep up the good work, and I can't wait to read these debates that we're going to have going on. Hope everyone has a good week.